Hi, welcome back to Gooey.AI. So in the last video, we started understanding how to prep our golden question and answer. And now we'll understand how to run this in our bulk evaluation tool. So just to refresh, we had a set of test questions and golden answers. And we have a bunch of bulk runs, which could mean you are changing out the prompt or you're changing out the LLM to see which is doing better. In this context, what will happen is that for every test question, you will get a generated answer, and the evaluation will be done based on comparing it to the golden answer that was shared by your expert. So, here in this scenario, we can see that there were three sets generated, and the first set scored 80%, whereas second one scored 100%, and the third scored 0.6%, that is 60%. So, which means that set 2 is the best. So if you were to look at this in a practical scenario, we'll come back to our sheets. These were our questions, just for you to remember. Here's the question, here's the golden answer, and the citation. So our scenario is this, that we are running a GUI marketing support bot, and it's got all the prompts in, and everything's running fine. We are kind of happy with the answers, but we also know there is a new model out there now, Gemini 2.5 Pro, and we just want to see, are those answers coming out to be better than 4.0 or 4.1 or whatever. So to set it up is pretty simple. I've already got an example here, and you can see it's got the language model running. But if you were to do this for yourself, all you need to do is go to your update, and you can make save as new. So you can make a new one, and you can choose the model you want. So say maybe I want to choose another one, like for example 4.1, which is a new model that's come out, and then I just do update again, and then here I can write that this is running GPT 4.1, right? And I say save. So basically you just duplicated it, you change the model out, and because you change the model out, it's also able to just do a quick rerun to make sure that the new model is working. So very simple. So what we'll do now is I'll go back to the original example, which is running GPT 4o, and I have one model which I've already made, which is running Gemini 2.5 Pro Preview. Now I will use this sheet, and I will run it in the bulk run. So that's very simple, just Gooey.AI/bulk. When you open the file, you will see already an example where we are running the bulk run on a farmer chat set of questions, and we try to run it across so many models. So what happens here is that we are running it across these models, and then you have your golden Q&A, which you can see here in a preview, and then it will, for every single question and every model that we are running, it's going to get an answer out of it. So you can see here, this is farmer chat, which corresponds to this. So here's your example with its corresponding run URL, how long it took to run it, and then similarly for Gemini 2, this is the output text, the runtime, the run URL, all of that. And then in the end, what it does, if you go to the very end, because this is a longer example, it evaluates rationally which was the best answer out of all of these 7 answers. And then it says, okay, 4.1 was the best. And then it also scores each of them based on your golden answer being what is here in the second column, right? And eventually, once these ratings are done, it aggregates those ratings, and then it gives you an evaluation of which answered the best. So even if you see the topmost is 7.6, which is like 76%, it is still not 100% as good as the golden answer might be. Now there could be various reasons for this, and it's up to us to kind of go through it a little bit more granularly and understand what are the reasons and how we can make sure that we get an improved answer. So what we'll do here is, for the moment, I'm going to delete all of these runs, and I'm going to also delete the spreadsheet that we are running on it. And I will first copy the golden Q&A spreadsheet here. So in this input data spreadsheet, I'll click on link, and I will paste it here, import it. and after the green bar goes through, you can see that it's got the questions that I have here with the citation URL and an empty section for the audio, right? And here you'll notice there is no workflow, so I'll just say add workflow. And here, because I have this already saved as marketing underscore GUI support bot, if I just type that, it should turn up for me. So here is the original one, and I want to run this against Gemini. So I'm just going to write Gemini, and that was also saved, which looks like this with a capital Gemini written there. So I've got both my workflows. I've got my golden Q&A. I just can't hit run yet. What I need to do now is just go into the inputs and look at input prompt. Now, obviously, you want the Copilot to get the input prompt of the question, and then it should give you the answer based on that. So here our column name is question. Your column name could be different. So you just need to go into this show all columns section and go into input prompt and add this here, right? And you already notice the output text, run URL, runtime, these are already ticked. Let them be as is. This will help you understand latency. Output text is important if you're doing translated languages, and the run URL is really useful for debugging. There's one last setting to be done. If we close show all columns, you'll notice that there's something that says evaluation workflows. And here there's already something called a Copilot evaluator. We have to switch this on for these kind of evaluations to work. However, if we don't want to do an evaluation and we just want to run the bulk runner on its own, you can just press delete and it will run on its own. So now I'm going to hit run. Now what's happening here? It's going to retain your question and answers as is, your questions and your golden answers. And then for every single question, it's going to give me a run URL, a runtime, and the response itself, right? And it will do this for all of the 8 questions that we have. And it will do it twice. It will do it once for my original Copilot, and then it will do it the second time for the one that runs on Gemini. So if I were to see that, so you can see this is the name of the original one, Gooey.AI support bot. And then we have got the Gemini one, which is here. So you see that the run is here, the runtime shows up here, and then the answer as well. I've already run this once, so let me show you how that looks. So here, so I've run it once. You can see that it's got all the runs here available. And then as we discussed, it's got the scoring, and then finally it's done the aggregation here, and it says that GPT 4.0, the original, is still a little bit better than the Gemini output. Now the easy way for you to check where a new model is faltering or your own model is faltering and how you can improve it is through how it's been rated. So obviously anything that's rated as a 60 or an 80 versus a 90 or a 1 is there's room for improvement. So we look at that in the next video. Thanks.